Welcome here on Riverside TV in the CIF Southern section on a beautiful Friday night. I'm Nick Reinstrom alongside J.R. Ibarra. Tonight, we get the whole thing started. It should be a sensational year within the Ivy League and across all schools in Riverside from the River Valley and beyond. League play begins tonight, JR, and it's a special feeling as everyone gets to reset the record and play in the opener tonight.
This is the night you got to get it done, because if you want to start positioning yourself for a run towards the CIF playoffs, a win becomes necessary, even in week number one. You do not want to get behind the eight ball. You don't want to create a deficit for yourself. And for a team like JW North, which did not have the most favorable of preseason schedules as well as the win-loss record, this is a tough game tonight. They come in against a very strong Orange Vista team, which is really quite a strong squad that they will face in tonight's contest.
Well, the unglistening record was 1-4 for JW North, but they did wrap up the non-conference season with one of the most spectacular come-from-behind wins that we've ever seen on Riverside TV. It was an incredible football game, and North beat Grand Terrace in that one 27-20.
And Grand Terrace was a very good football team. It was not like they were any kind of slouch they were facing. They did an excellent job in the second half to come back from some really adverse conditions, trailing by 13 points, headed into that earlier part of the third quarter, and rallied back to have a very impressive win against Grand Terrace.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, for Orange Vista, they are no slouch in themselves. 5-0, a formidable opponent, and it should be a great team that North faces tonight.
Absolutely. This team really has flexed his muscles. They have not scored anything less than 35 points in each of their 5 contests tonight, so we'll see what happens in tonight's matchup.
Thank you for joining us on the fan-voted game, Orange Vista and JW North from Paris, California. Here is the kickoff and our Week 6 game. And the opener of the Ivy League is underway. On the hop from the 5-yard line, North return man Anthony Zavala brings it back to around the 20. And that is where the high-powered Huskies offense, a team scoring just over 14 a game, but put together their best second half of the year last week. They'll take the field with solid starting field position on the right hash.
It'll be interesting to see what Cameron Shannon comes up with. He did get just a little bit tweaked on the ankle late in the game last week. Anthony Zavala filled in for a couple of series, did a very good job. In fact, I'm seeing Zavala come out maybe as our starter for tonight.
Well,
no, I take that back. I see Shannon in the backfield.
Well, he is at receiver, so he still is very involved in the offense.
Yeah.
Last night, Ramona knocked out Hillcrest 46-21 to notch a River Valley League win to get the whole league play started. Just about everyone else plays tonight. Bootleg for Shannon on the first play of the game, and he is taken down. They brought an all-out blitz, and Sire Gaines makes the stop. That is his second sack of the year, number 11.
Sire Gaines is a name you're going to hear all night long. He is a go-to player for Orange Vista as he shines both offensively and defensively, comes up with a huge tackle for a huge loss of 10 yards.
And a highly touted recruit for the NCAA, too. He has all the potential to play big ball on Saturdays.
Tough way to start off that first series here. Let's see what Shannon can do to try to make up that yardage deficit.
They'll keep it on the ground. North feeds Keys Furad. He is stuffed right away. Don't adjust your TV sets, by the way. This isn't Texas and Notre Dame.
That certainly looks like it tonight. I love the colors. Like this is really cool. It definitely looks like a Texas v. Notre Dame contest. So,
just an outstanding jersey set for Orange Vista. This is the first time this year, and we hope not the only time, that we get to see the Coyotes of 5-0 Orange Vista.
3rd and long is going to be a challenge here for the Huskies.
They'll line up with 4 receivers. Shannon is back and looking left all the way. He throws a jump ball, and that is a bit underthrown with more on the coverage. The pass intended for Brian Butler, incomplete.
3 and out, not very good way to start things off in this game.
And North had a dismal start to the game last week against Grand Terrace, which forced them to fall behind 20-7. But they racked up nearly 200 yards in the fourth quarter to what felt like turn their whole season around. This was a team that couldn't figure out a way to close football games. That was the theme from head coach Opalani Veipulu all year. He was imploring to his team to finish ball games. And after the bye, they did exactly that against the Titans, and they hope that that can create some sort of momentum going into tonight.
Low snap.
Yeah, first punt of the ball game. On the hop to Crane, and he is hammered out of bounds. Off a short return, the Huskies' Mason McGill records the tackle.
Boy, this is going to be some extremely favorable field position here for Orange Vista. Already deep in the territory of the Huskies to start off their first offensive scrimmage for the night.
For the Coyotes, they bring out starting quarterback Khalil Abdul Aziz, number 1. He is a 6'2", 170-pounder and a freshman.
That's amazing.
Just 14 years old.
Amazing. Watching game film on this kid, he is very poised in the pocket.
And you can see he already has the size and athleticism to match up against these varsity athletes. And is one of a few freshmen starting for tonight for Orange Vista. This is one of the youngest teams we've seen on Riverside TV this year. And they'll go ground on the first play of the game right through to Poe on a pickup of 9. Tyron Roberts makes the stop on a strong run on first down.
Sire Gaines is your leading ball carrier here for Orange Vista, was the man on the carry. As you mentioned, Nick, he's already getting looks from Pac-12 teams as a junior. In fact, not just
Incredible.
looks, he's actually getting offers from a variety of teams right now.
Very encouraging for the development of this sensational athlete, a two-way player. A short throw from Abdul Aziz. And it's complete for the first down out there to
Coyotes' first down of the game.
Number 16 made that grab. And Orange Vista is in the red zone. This offense is scoring this year 38 points per game. That is best in the Ivy League this year, with North just behind him. He looks to his right, and that pass is right through the hands of number 16. Good coverage out there from Damian Alala of the Huskies.
One thing I like what I see with Aziz is he just takes a quick 2-3 steps, and he's pretty much on the money looking for that receiver and pulls the trigger very quickly. Doesn't hesitate a whole lot.
And what was interesting was when we talked to the coach before the game, Greg Zumalt, this is a guy that he feels needs to be faster. But he wasn't quite referencing his speed and reading the defense, more so his speed once he gets on the run, which is really a big compliment to this young man. Lucas
Absolutely.
Irving on the gut run, his first of the game, picks up about 8 for Orange Vista.
Lucas Irving, another one of the leading ground gators, already with 385 yards on the season for Orange Vista.
And should be a big focal point of the offense, but they do go man by committee back there at tailback.
That's quite a backfield. This is one of the most impressive backfields that you'll see in the Inland Empire.
Right. Led by, of course, Lucas Irving. We saw Gaines out there a moment ago. Fantastic drive. Led by a short field off of that north 3 and out. Third down from the north 5. It's a run to Gaines, and he dives into the end zone. Touchdown.
Got it.
That is a Coyote touchdown, number 11. Let's hear it for your Yotes.
Well, he does it all for Orange Vista. Sire Gaines, he might not leave the field until this one is over.
Yeah, he's a two-way player. He'll see both time defensively and offensively as we have a timeout down on the field. Not sure what the stoppage of play is.
Actually, they might have had a clock thing. The clock was running after the touchdown.
Okay.
Well, they'll bring in the extra point group. And the Coyotes, number 17. Kick is good, and Orange Vista enjoys the early lead, courtesy of Sire Gaines to start and that star runner to finish it off.
Yeah, this is going to be a real challenge defensively for the Huskies tonight, as they have just so much firepower they have to contend with Sire Gaines along with Aziz throwing the football. Sire Gaines, one of the leading rushers on the team as well as receivers for Orange Vista, so he's a dual threat, which is the reason why he's getting so much looks from different colleges around the Pac-12.
Right, should be exciting to see where he ends up once his high school playing days are over. This is the 4th all-time meeting, that is all, between Orange Vista and JW North. This newly minted program from Paris, California, in Orange Vista, was not a varsity program until 2017. North holds the 2-1 all-time edge. The Huskies knocked out this club 20-10 last year in the league opener too. That was played up in Riverside. First return of the night for Angelo Ramirez, and he is wrapped up just short of the 30-yard line. The tackle from Nathan Wade.
Hey, a shout out to our Zebra Stripes for tonight, which includes the referee as James Schmidt, the umpire DJ Jones, the head linesman is Armando Amaro, the line judge is Mike Anderson, and the back judge is Kent Bukarau.
JW North will start their possession.
Well, those officials are going to be busy tonight if Sire Gaines is creating that type of contact. It's hard to, see on those type of runs where there's, they say there's a hold on every play, but I'm sure there's also a grab, maybe a face mask here and a horse collar there to bring down a guy like that. And there he is, number 11, Sire Gaines, towards the right of your screen on defense, playing linebacker for the program. He is being recruited, Sire Gaines, on both sides of the ball, but where he shines best is out there at linebacker and at some spots even strong safety for the team. Shannon on a jet sweep. Wailingi Pea down the sideline, and there he goes.
Nice
Hammered
gainer
by Gaines at the 39-yard line. They featured Pea, who was a sensational contributor in the fourth quarter of that game. He had one of the best games of anybody on the Huskies team last week, and they get him involved early. It's a great idea to get him involved early, too.
Absolutely, because I think he kind of surprised both you and I last week, Nick. We did not expect a whole lot out of him, to be perfectly honest with you, and man, did he step up his game right at the appropriate time to contribute to the win against Grand Terrace.
Right, Wailingi Pea.
I love the handoff. It was almost kind of looked like a Statue of Liberty type play, and this is what I love about Coach OP.
Right.
He's not afraid to pull things out of the bag of tricks, and you'll see that a few times tonight as well.
Of course, offensive coordinator Kevin Kiker is calling some of the plays too. I'm sure he's got his fingerprints all over this offense with Cam and Shannon at the controls. Huskies go to the ground, and there's just nothing going up front. It seems early the way they're creating offense is with some creativity, with just how good they are up front for Orange Vista.
Yeah, they just might have to go to that bag of tricks a few times throughout the night. Furhall, your ball carrier, comes up with absolutely nothing on that carry.
Just the third play of this Husky drive, 2nd and 10. Just across the 35-yard line. Furra has been the bell cow over the last couple of games, but they'll feature Alala down the sideline. His first grab of the game is near a first down. Let's see where they mark this.
Boy, I think the Huskies got away with a clip to help Alala break free for the first down.
Pass by number 7.
Actually, it's just going to be shy of the first down.
Yeah.
It'll be a yard short.
I was going to see if we had a replay on that one, but Alala showed some serious feet. They almost didn't even need to clip on that play.
Yeah, he got a nice assistance from one of his compatriots there to break free for the 9-yard gain here.
Well, you got to appreciate the officials letting them play out there. 3rd down and 1. Paella is into the game to spell Furra in the backfield. He'll get the call, squirts through a hole, and picks up the first down.
Nice gainer.
Hard-nosed running for 4 yards. And he keeps the chains moving. Well, we thought last week when we saw him shine in the fourth quarter that he needs to be a bigger part of the offense. He had just 4 carries in the first 4 weeks of the year, and he's getting a much bigger focal point of the offense.
Yeah, most of his yardage on the season came from last weekend's win over Grand Terrace, so I totally agree with you, Nick. They need to see him or give him a lot more action and a lot more minutes tonight.
Wailingi Paea on the year is averaging 10 yards a carry. A first down every time he touches the ball on average. That'll get it done for the Huskies. Early movement, Gaines jumped into the neutral zone. That's 5 yards against Orange Vista.
Yeah, the Coyotes defense has been just a little antsy on the line of scrimmage tonight. On that time, they got caught with their hands in the cookie jar.
Yeah, and that's a savvy play from Cameron Shannon on the hard count. He's just a junior, still a teenager learning this offense, but that was a heads-up play for the quarterback.
Absolutely.
Masterful Huskies drive. It began just short of their own 30.
Did it again. Wow. That is something. Twice in a row.
I don't think I've seen a first down earned by neutral zone quite like that.
You take them any way you can get them. It looked like number 15, Yesai Magalai, is the one who was drawn off sides for the Coyotes. It's already 10 yards marked off, giving the Huskies a first down.
Yeah, midway through the opening quarter, Orange Vista capitalized on a short field, and Sire Gaines punched it in with a goal line score from 5 yards out.
Be a nice confidence booster for the Huskies if they can put some points on the scoreboard with this drive.
Play fake for Shannon. He's looking to his fullback, and Tupou gets crushed as he makes the grab. It's a gain of 1. Marshawn Adams upends the fullback after the short pickup.
Boy, great defense by the Coyotes with Marshawn Adams on the stop. Only a yard gain on that reception by Tupou.
Let's check out that play again, Marshawn Adams. He's not even in the screen right now. He flies in from behind and makes a big hit on Tupou. Let's check him out.
Look at that, because Tupou had plenty of green behind him, but man, the pursuit was quite impressive.
I'm sure Tupou's feeling a little frustrated. All of that punishment for a 1 yard gain. Second down and 9. A fantastic drive. Here's Furra, who hurdles over the defense and maybe gains 1. Orange Vista's front 4 has just been spectacular tonight, and it's anchored by the big fella at defensive tackle, William Matthew, number 55. He has just stuffed all of the running lanes up front tonight for Orange Vista.
Matthew, known as Doughboy.
Is that what they call him?
That's what they call him.
At 6'1", 280 pounds. I wonder where they got that from.
Well, I don't know.
Quite the run stuffer, but he also, Matthew, has recorded 3 sacks this year to lead the team. And has been arguably the best pass rusher in the whole league in 2022. And he's in on the blitz. It's a 6-man rush, and that throw's dropped. Dylan Bosher, one of the sure-handed receivers on the team, had it right between the shoulder pads, incomplete.
Wow, that was a crucial drop. Kind of looking like Coach Vaipulu might leave the offense out there. I don't know, they're still, no, looks like the...
Now Shannon's heading off. Let's
Yeah.
see what they do here. Yes, a punt.
Oh, they're going to come up with an interesting formation with Zavala, who has the capability to throw the football.
Well, you know, they went creative to begin the drive, so I guess they might as well keep it going.
I would not be totally surprised. I mean, we've seen Coach Vaipulu, as we said before, go to his bag of tricks, but of course Zavala could easily kick it as well.
Paea will snap it. Zavala immediately sends away a fluttering kick. He might have not quite gotten what he wanted on that punt. It's a 10-yard punt, in fact, from Zavala, no return.
Yeah, not exactly what I'm sure he was looking for.
Orange Vista, 3:39 left in the first quarter. Glad you're with us. They'll set up shop at their own 30 with a 7-0 lead. Sire Gaines, their do-it-all athlete for Orange Vista, scored on a 5-yard touchdown run to cap the Coyotes' opening drive of the game. Huskies have a few first downs, one courtesy of penalty early, but have yet to enter scoring range. Coyotes begin their second drive at the 30 on the right hash. Irving crawls inside for 4, upended immediately by Aiden Beasley, number 34.
One thing I'm liking in what I see from both Irving and Gaines is they just will hit the hole immediately. They're not hesitating. They're not stutter stepping. Once they see any slight opening, they are very quick to close up and get through that gap.
5.3 yards a carry and 6 touchdowns for Lucas Irving, the twitchy senior running back at 6 foot, 170 pounds. He's in as the pistol back off of the 3-yard gain for Orange Vista. His pass is knocked away at the line by Wilson and is incomplete.
Aziz, your starting quarterback, as we mentioned, 14 years of age, comes in with over 1,100 yards passing, which just is kind of mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I mean, for a freshman quarterback, the numbers are pretty staggering. 14 touchdown tosses. He kind of does it all, as well as he does have some capability to scramble out of the pocket. But as you mentioned earlier, I know Coach Zolmalt would love for him to increase the speed just a little bit further.
Right. 14 touchdowns and just 7 interceptions. Good numbers for a senior, but he's just a 14-year-old freshman. Gaines is pulled down short of the marker. It's a big-time stop up front from JW North. Christian Wilson records his second tackle.
Boy, when you need the Huskies to kind of step things up defensively, this is looking pretty good so far.
3-yard gain for Sire Gaines.
Looks
Well,
like
if anybody's going to get stopped like that in the open field, Christian Wilson's the guy to do it.
absolutely, and Wilson has been quite the contributor through most of the first part of the season here.
Yeah, at defensive tackle, he'll line up sometime at end, and that's the case on a 4th down and short, and they will go for it here. Irving shakes 2 Huskies tackles and finds some running room. Outside off the stiff arm, 50, 45, 40. He has a convoy at the 30, one to beat with a flag, and that's the man who brings him down.
This might get called against the Coyotes. We'll see what happens on the indication here by the refs.
4th and short, a gain of 59. Juarez saved the touchdown
We've got a flag on the play.
as that throw of the flag was made at around the 30-yard line of the Huskies. So he should earn the first down, and he also earned the highlight to send to mom and all the friends on Monday. But
Absolutely, you see why he is
coming
such a
back.
highly touted player with a run like that.
yeah,
Unfortunately, the Huskies really missed a couple of key tackles that could have saved them from not just the first down, but this long gain as well.
well, he is a touchdown waiting to happen as Gaines, already with 5 scores this year. And as the home run threat, they try and feature him any way they can. Out wide as a running back, he's just so dangerous. But they'll bring him out in favor of Lucas Irving. He's the tailback as Orange Vista moves the chains despite the penalty at the 36 of JW North. Fast start for the host Coyotes in their beautifully well-maintenance stadium here in Paris, California. False start.
Looks like we got a false
Already
start
4
on
penalties
the
on the night here for Orange Vista.
It's amazing to think how good they look with these flags.
Yeah. In spite of the mistakes that we've seen so far in the first quarter, this team's still putting things up here statistically as well as on the scoreboard.
For Orange Vista, this is a 5-0 start that they have been accustomed to by this point. A fantastic program that throws wide of McDuffie and is incomplete. This team, under the watch of head coach Greg Zolmalt, has won 67% of their games and has perennially gone deep in the CIF playoffs over the years. It's an incredible jump from JV to varsity just in a couple of years for this team.
Yeah, he's very excited about this year's squad. He just feels like they have really gelled so far. They have a great, as he mentioned to us, a great love and care for each other as a team and as teammates, and it feels that's a contributing factor to their success so far.
Second down, Abdul Aziz throws the tunnel screen. That one was just a bit high. He'd love to have that one back. Dropped by Nigel Crane.
This is also one of the things that maybe Aziz is struggling with. His completion percentage is only about 51%. So that's one thing we know that he probably wants to increase in terms of the remainder of this 2022 season.
Well, you know, he looks like a freshman sometimes out there. This is a guy that hit the long ball earlier in the game, but missed the short one, the easy one that wasn't covered. So, of course, plenty of opportunities to get better. Abdul Aziz launches one deep over the seam, and it was a great route. He was open, incomplete to McDuffie as he missed him by maybe a foot.
4th down in this type of field position, I would imagine that Coach Zomald is probably just going to keep the guys on the field here.
4th and 15. Indeed, they'll go for it.
Yeah, I mean, why not? If they so happen to turn it over on downs, it's still not too crazy field position here.
It should be noted there isn't much of a wind, but we saw on that Anthony Zavala punt, he was driving the ball into the wind. So it is at the back of Abdul Aziz in this offense. 4th and 15, and they'll go for it. Deep ball into coverage. No chance that time. Outstanding job from Jaden Pitts for JW North. Incomplete and a turnover on downs.
So already on the night, Aziz was 7 attempts with only 1 completion, but of course that completion was quite key.
Yeah. As it sparked that offense into the touchdown drive. 7-0 for the Coyotes late in the first quarter. We'll have score updates, news, and all sorts of highlights from across this game and beyond, and throughout the course of tonight on Riverside TV. Nick Rice and J.R. Ibarra here with you for the fan-voted game, Orange Vista and JW North. But of course, Jeff Gorham's got that other game going along with, I believe, Gonzales Patriot and Arlington in Riverside. Glad you're with us for part of our doubleheader on Riverside TV. Start of the 3rd drive is a furrow run. He sweeps out and is dropped for a loss. Number 15, Ise Magale, makes the stop.
That was number 32 for the Coyotes with the stop of JW North.
Boy, Furhaw really struggling so far tonight.
But that's been the case about just about anybody against this Orange Vista defense. But this was the sort of thing that we marveled in throughout the preseason. JW North has been as balanced as they have in a long time due to their successes at the quarterback spot with Cameron Shannon. That might be put to the test tonight with how good this Coyotes run defense is. 2nd and 12, Furrow on the ground, does find a hole. Excellent running inside, and he picks up 9.
Nice.
Spilled by West after a strong run to set up 3rd and about 3 yards to go.
Nice open gap created by the offensive line to give the Huskies at least a fighting chance here on a 3rd down conversion attempt.
That'll do it for the first quarter from Paris. Glad you're with us on Riverside TV. It's the CIF Southern section with Orange Vista in front by 7. JR,
take a second look at that one, Nick.
Right, let's check this one out. This has to be one of the first times, and I would say that considering the sort of running we've seen from Furrow, maybe the coach is thinking about keeping this guy going in the offense.
You know, it seems like the Huskies are just trying to establish a rhythm of getting that ground game going first and then giving Shannon that opportunity to throw that football. So I think that seems to be the strategy so far from what we're seeing early here in this first half of play.
Orange Vista capped off their opening drive of the game with the Sire Gaines touchdown plunge of 5 yards. But since then, JW North, credit to them, has done a terrific job of slowing down Abdul Aziz and that high-powered offense. The Coyotes average 38 points per game. Holding them to 7 is an accomplishment.
Yeah, so far it is something that was really necessary for them to do, and they've got to keep that consistency all night long here.
Meanwhile, for JW North, their offense really took a few weeks to get started. They're scoring 14 points per game and put up 27 against Grand Terrace. The team is very balanced, especially with a healthy Cameron Shannon out there. 3rd down and 4, certainly a passing situation for quite a few teams, but they will keep it on the ground with Paella. He heads to the outside and falls forward to about the 50, but the Coyotes defense led by Calvin Moore delivers the 3rd down stop.
You know, with a 4th and short, do you go for it? I think they might entertain that thought.
especially after that last punt from Zavala. But as mentioned, now the wind is at their back for JW North.
Yeah, take advantage of the situation here with that wind.
It should be noted, Cameron Shannon, the quarterback, has attempted punts before this year for the Huskies. So he's capable of pinning this team deep. The Coyotes have nobody back as well. Fourth down and a timeout spurned by Orange Vista. Breaking out of that huddle, JW North put Christian Wilson, the big fella, out there wide. And he has been a big short yardage target this year for them.
We've seen him do that William Refrigerator Perry type of scenario a couple of times this season. So Coach Vaipulu maybe was thinking the same thing to utilize his talents for that 4th and short scenario. There's a look at Coach Zomalt and his troops down there for Orange Vista. Coach Z has really had quite a storied career here in the Inland Empire, spending time at Citrus Hill and being a contributing factor to 5 CIF titles and 1 state title in his career. So he has definitely been one of the premier coaches on this side of Riverside County.
Right. Check out those jerseys, by the way. Some of them have last names, some of them don't. Coach Zomalt, and he credited all the coaches he had over there at Citrus Hill for this idea. This is the first time I've seen this on Riverside TV in all the years covering games. For kids that have a 3.0 GPA or higher, they've earned that last name.
That is such a great incentive. In fact, I think you mentioned to us that he has 18 players able to wear that name on the back of the jersey. That signifies that they do just as well in the classroom as they do on the gridiron.
Timeout JW North. And he said most of those players that have the last names have at least a 3.5 GPA.
Yeah.
Man, what could I have done at this school if I had even a 2.5?
I love the fact that he gives that incentive and that accountability factor for the players. That's the whole key. Is you want student athletes, you want them successful in the classroom. You're not just developing football players, you're developing great human beings as well.
And it worked for them. This idea has been established at this Coyotes program. They jumped from D12 to D8 in 1 year. In the CIF Southern section, it's very difficult to move more than 1 or 2 brackets in a year. To move up 4, this is a team that's garnering state recognition now.
Yeah, that's quite a significant jump, and so far this team has really showed a deep desire to get themselves far into CIF and possibly challenge for a title.
3 running backs in the game. Here's Tupou to the inside.
Oh, man.
Falling forward. Sensational effort from Tupou. It's a first down. He got hammered by West. It was a great hit, but they moved the chains, led by Tupou.
That spin move, that second effort made all the difference in the world to move the chains and come up with a first down here. Take a second look at this, Nick.
It was a great tackle from West initially.
Man.
Sione Tupou.
Huskies will have the ball on the 47-yard line.
Tupou, the leading tackler here defensively, also spends time in the offensive backfield for the Huskies.
Well, if you want to win against a juggernaut like Orange Vista, you're going to need second effort, hard plays like that. Greg Zomalt, the head coach of Orange Vista, implored this might be his toughest and most cohesive team he's ever had in Paris. With 10:32 left in the first half, could we see another timeout here?
Delay of game.
Wow. That's a frustrating penalty off of the first down from Tupou. But those are the sort of plays that can bring this team together, a 4th down conversion like that.
Absolutely. That'll definitely put a spark into the action. First flag of the night for the Huskies.
Yeah, it was just the 4th run of the year for Sione Tupou. 5'7", 195 pounds. Senior fullback and tight end too. 1st and 15, fresh off of the 4th down conversion. Paella heads to his right, slips a tackle, coughed up the ball right into his teammate Butler, and he kicked that one out of bounds. Sometimes you also need a little bit of luck to win a game like this.
It doesn't hurt to have things fall in your favor, and that was a bullet dodged by the Huskies on that one.
Wailingi Paella running back into the game now for JW North. 18 runs for 183 yards this year with 2 touchdowns. Also reeled in the game winner against Grand Terrace last week. Solid start to the year for the senior.
Boy, the breeze really beginning to kick up here.
And that's at the back of the Huskies. Early in the second, 7-0 and a great football game out of Paris. Furra checks in at tailback. And Shannon might have drawn the 3rd neutral zone of the game, and he did.
Amazing. Been very effective with that so far, and that is the 5th flag that's going against the Coyotes.
Orange Vista tonight is starting 7 sophomores and a freshman quarterback. So this is a young team making young mistakes in this game.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It seems like the Huskies are helping to contribute those mistakes. Yeah. It isn't just a mental breakdown of the Coyotes, but Cameron Shannon has done an excellent job on the count.
And they're right back ahead of the chains now. Orange Vista lines up in a dime defense on 2nd and 6. Play fake to Furra, slant to Bosher, and he is walloped by West. It's a great catch and a gain of 5.
Boy, it's great that he managed to hold on to that football. He got nailed just immediately as he caught the rock.
The sophomore defensive back, Deontay West, now 19 tackles on the year. None bigger than that one right there. Big stick at the 40-yard line.
Let's try to make some noise for our Orange Vista Coyotes defense. See if they can hold
it appeared Boucher reached the 39 on that replay, but they mark him at the 40 for a 3rd and short 3. JW North has been very confident on these 3rd and 4th down situations to lean on the run. They'll do it again for a Motors for 2, wrapped up by Matthew about a yard away.
Looks like he's just shy of the 1st down marker on a 4th and short. I'm sure Coach Opolani is going to go for this one.
A methodical drive early in the 2nd quarter. 7-0 Orange Vista. Defensive slugfest. And on 4th and 2, here comes the jumbo package. 2 fullbacks are in, led by Wilson up front. Tupou gets the call, looks for a hole, and crawls to right around the 1st down. The officials are going to need to take a moment to look at where this one should be spotted.
Depending on spot, might need a measurement, although it seems like the Coyotes are already saying that it's turnover on downs. Got a favorable spot here.
And I think JW North has discovered a bit of a weapon here with Sione Tupou.
Yeah, they're moving the down marker right to the 1st down marker. Is it going to be shy? It looks like they'll bring out the chains and get themselves into a measurement here. Yep, chains are coming out. This is going to be a close one for sure. And looks like they might have it. They got it. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Man.
Game of inches.
Literally by inches.
What's interesting is Orange Vista lost a CIF playoff game by inches against Adelanto a couple of years ago.
Once again, credit to Poe by making a very key conversion to come up with a 1st down here.
In 2018, Orange Vista lost to them in the CIF championship game. And then unfortunately for them, lost again a year later. But this team went from JV in 2016 to the CIF championship game in 2018 and has now moved into the big boy division and is 5-0. But JW North has put together a fantastic drive already. Shannon pops up the snap. Turnover at the 42-yard line. And it's picked up by Arturo Nieto. 2nd fumble recovery of the year for him, and the Coyotes get it back.
Just an unfortunate bad exchange by Shannon, and puts it on the turf, and the Coyotes grab it. And let's see if they can take advantage of this turnover.
Right, what a heartbreaking way to lose that drive. 2 4th down conversions to begin, and just a muff snap to finish.
Oh, it looks like Furhall just kind of got in the way. It wasn't even a handoff. He ran right in front of Shannon and just caused Shannon to lose the football.
And now that Husky defense will be tasked with 8:03 left in the 2nd quarter. It's 7-0 Coyotes, and Abdul Aziz has that one knocked away. Boucher, who dropped a critical pass in the middle of that drive just a moment ago makes up for it with a pass breakup there.
Man, you've got dueling defenses going on here, Nick. This is quite an interesting start to this football game. I know we were both kind of expecting some offensive explosiveness by both squads, but it's the defensive squads that have really stepped up early here in this contest.
Yeah, Coyotes are averaging 38 a game. The Huskies over 14 a game. It's 7-0 Orange Vista. That's why you play the games, though. You never know what you're going to see. And we saw it all last week, too, in that Huskies game. Abdulaziz flips it to his left and picks up 4 on the diving grab from Tyrell McDuffie, the senior's first grab of the game. In that contest last week, we even saw a shirtless man run on the field. So we really did see everything last week.
We did. And no, it was not your dad, from what we learned later.
All right.
Contrary to popular belief.
You know, my dad would do something like that, though, so.
Then we'd better keep an eye out here.
Yep, that's right.
No telling if he shows up tonight or not.
No telling. That was a 3-yard gain. Aziz flips it short on the middle screen. McDuffie gains about a yard, tagged by Alala of JW North.
Man, 5 attempts to McDuffie. He only has 4 yards, but 2 grabs so far.
Yeah, it is interesting. The Huskies have done a great job limiting the downfield throws from their quarterback, Khalil Abdulaziz. This is a guy averaging over 10 yards an attempt. Much, much lower numbers for him in tonight's game, and the Coyotes will punt.
Yeah, the fact that this is who's in that punting spot.
Great protection, and he sends away a beauty, towering punt. Great hang time for the freshman down to the 38-yard line. Who knew he wasn't just a quarterback for this team?
Kind of an all-around kid. Heck, when I was 14 years old, I didn't know what the heck I was doing.
Right. I probably couldn't have done this in a video game at 14. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, if I was any school in the world, I'd offer a guy like that as a freshman coming into the offense. And of all the things the coach could praise him for, his attribute as a tough kid was the first and last thing he talked about him.
Right.
Keys Fura is spilled immediately by Nieto of Orange Vista, the man who scooped up the fumble from Shannon just a moment ago.
6th carry of the night for Fura.
That was a rush attempt by Keys.
And whatever numbers you've got there, JR, about Fura and Paella, it probably isn't all that spectacular, but it's been important to move the chains.
Yeah, they're just kind of grinding it out right now, Nick. I mean, that was only a yard carry, but you just kind of keep doing that consistently and you'll get a breakthrough.
You know, we talked about it earlier in the game, feeling this Orange Vista defense is great against the run. They might want to beat them on the outside, but JW North must have heard that and felt, you know what, we're going to run it more, not less, and that's exactly what they've done.
Yeah, so far it's been looking fairly positive other than the few mistakes.
Shannon dumps it off to Olala, who has a bit of running room and is hammered quickly by Nathan Wade, the linebacker for Orange Vista. It's a gain of 6.
That was a completed pass, number 7, Damian.
Nice quick toss out to Alala to come up with a reception. Alala, one of the leading receivers here for the Huskies on that grab. Taking another look at this one, just quick toss out to his left, almost had it on the turf.
Yeah, 8 grabs for him coming in this year and another couple tonight, setting up 3rd and short. This isn't your shootout. It is an old school, grinded out football game tonight.
Yeah, it is.
A throwback to the way things usually were in high school ball. The winner might only need a couple of touchdowns. And you're almost waiting with these two explosive football teams.
Looks
You're almost, delay a game. You're almost waiting for that big play to spark a team. Orange Vista looked like they may be on cruise control with the way they started the game. They had a near touchdown run from Gaines, wiped out by a penalty, and it seems nobody can stretch the defense since.
Mistakes here are really the Achilles heel so far for the Huskies.
Right.
That did not come at an opportune time. Makes it now a 3rd and long situation here for JW North.
Wailingi Paea's checked in as the tailback and flanks Shannon to the right. He's in on the speed option, gets the toss on a 3rd down, and plunges in front of Gaines for a pickup of 4. 4th tackle of the ball game for Sire Gaines, the highly touted linebacker for Orange Vista. He had eyes on him coming into the game as a national recruit, and so far he's delivered. Let's check out his defensive play right here.
Yeah, a nice toss out there to Paea, but great defense here by the Coyotes to keep them from getting anywhere near that 1st down marker, and it obviously will be a punting situation here for JW North.
Right. Deontay West was there too on the defensive play for them. We saw one Zavala punt earlier in the game. Shannon is a capable punter, but they'll bring in Damian Alala, who also was a dual threat for them. He's back at the 30-yard line for JW North.
Look at the lineup here by Coyotes. They are expecting a trick of some sort, which I don't blame them when you have somebody like Coach Vaipulu.
Right, direct snap, Alala.
Oh, it is.
And tosses downfield.
Oh,
it was
my
a great
goodness.
pass.
Wow.
Dropped by Jaden Pitts, number 5.
Well, the Coyotes obviously sensed it because they were not lined up to receive a punt. They were dropping back to see what would formulate, and sure enough, the Huskies went for it. Unfortunately, just not effective in grabbing that 1st down.
Right. It should be noted Orange Vista does receive the opening kickoff of the 2nd half. So if they can make a big play here, they could create a commanding lead in the 3rd quarter. As the Coyotes set up shop at the 44-yard line, they have 2 timeouts and plenty of time to work with late in this 1st half. As he's with another middle screen, and he puts Irving into space. 1st down and more. He slips the tackle, and Lucas Irving gets a great block too.
He's in.
Touchdown.
Nice. About 44 yards on the swing out pass.
Irving's first receiving touchdown of the year. And that was almost too easy. He had an entire convoy in front of him.
Yeah, plenty
to
of
pave
blocking.
the way for the score.
Plenty of blocking.
And he had that student section in the perfect spot right there in the right corner of the end zone. And with Sire Gaines as the headline runner, they bring in Lucas Irving and set him up in space on that screen to begin the drive. It was a great play call. And this explosive offense needed a bit of time, a little over a quarter, to get a big play like that. The extra point is good, and it's no good. He just missed that one to the left. It's 13-0 Coyotes.
Well, unfortunately, the Huskies were just not able to come up with that 4th down conversion there, and this gave the opportunity for the Coyotes to make that happen right away, and you can see just how explosive this offense is.
Just a fantastic catch and run from Irving. And JW North had 2 promising drives into Coyote territory, and with that turnover on downs and also the Shannon muffed snap. And now they're looking at a 13-0 score and maybe a situation where they've got to throw the ball at least a little bit to shake things up.
I would totally agree. I mean, with 3 minutes to play with here in the 1st half, I think you need to step up the tempo just a little bit further. And really almost becomes imperative to get some points on the scoreboard here as they go into halftime. Breeze has kind of died down just a touch.
But still, this is at the face of Orange Vista. So JW North brings in their 2 return men to about the 15-yard line. Angelo Ramirez is back there for the Huskies. This kickoff flutters towards Ramirez, who makes the catch on the hop of the 14-yard line. He gets a block but runs right into a wall of Coyotes and is immediately taken down. Orange Vista's Abijah Murphy makes the special team stop.
I think this is a point, Nick, where you have to kind of go a little bit more up-tempo on this drive.
Cameron Shannon is certainly the guy capable of stretching the defense. The junior QB has thrown 351 yards worth of passes, add another 204 on the ground, with 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. It should be noted Shannon just lost the second fumble of the year, so that has been a bit of a problem for them, and it cost them dearly. Orange Vista a few minutes later capitalizes on the Irving score. JW North begins the drive with a Boucher slant, and he runs right into the arms of Donovan Morton II. Excellent tackle near the first down.
Nice slant by Boucher to come up just about a yard shy of a first down.
And they'll go up tempo with the no-huddle offense here.
This is what they need to do.
Alala, Zavala, Boucher, and Butler into the game as the 4 receivers. It's a 13-0 Coyote lead, and the Huskies are driving. Second play of the march for Shannon of the offense. Bootleg, and he's got the first down and races out. It's a gain of 4.
Looking downfield, Weiss moved to take the keeper and come up with a first down here.
Make sure to keep it with us on Riverside TV. We have scores from all across the city of Riverside and the CIF Southern section, along with notable stats and highlights and storylines from this ball game and what to expect for these 2 schools in the second half. That and so much more is coming up at the half here on Riverside TV. 2:24 left in the second quarter of this game with a 13-0 Coyote lead. 1st and 10. Wailingi Paea back in as the running back. Shannon hit as he throws, out of bounds.
Boy, credit Sire Gaines, man. He was putting that pressure on Shannon hot and heavy. Had to really hurry up that throw and comes up with an incomplete.
He came in there so fast, I wonder if anyone even touched him.
Didn't look like it. Of course, he has incredible speed.
Now, Shannon's a fast player, but not that fast.
No, and you can see why that Sire Gaines is being so heavily touted defensively for his skills as well.
We saw Gaines record his 2nd sack of the year just a bit earlier in the ball game today. A junior at 6'1", 200 pounds. Couples as a dangerous running back for Orange Vista. Wailingi Paea, one to beat as he breaks a tackle, and there's the speed at the 5 and in the end zone.
Wow.
Touchdown. It's 60 yards to put him back in the game.
Just when you needed a breakthrough play, Paea comes up with it, 60 yards to put it in the end zone.
Last week, a star was born in the form of a running back, Wailingi Paea. Now, unfortunately, it appears to be a bit shaken up on that touchdown run as he hobbles out of the game.
Might be just a little winded. I would be winded.
Shoot.
I'd be craving some oxygen at this point.
I'm winded just watching him go. Buried in the depth chart to begin the year, it's one of those incredible stories. It's a low snap. The extra point is good. It's a great kick, too, from Chris Lara, but a flag has been thrown. Let's see if this one's on the defense. The signal is that it just might be.
Boy, this is just what the Huskies needed before we hit into halftime. Of course, this does give some significant time here for the Coyotes. 2 minutes on the scoreboard is definitely something they can work with.
Right, significant time, but this penalty might be huge as it could be assessed on the kickoff.
Oh, yeah, personal foul running into the kicker. So this will really potentially push the Coyotes deep in their own territory.
Extra point for the Huskies is good. Penalty.
The Coyotes have 2 timeouts too, it should be noted, in this ball game. This is a guy who just had 4 or 5 guys in front of him to begin the year. We came in expecting for JW North Amir Ridgely, Amari Easton, very capable runners in this offense, and they were a big part of the team early, but all of a sudden Wailingi Paea burst onto the scene and now is looking like one of the best runners in the whole city, if not even the whole region here.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, Nick, a star has been born. We definitely saw that as he rose to the occasion last weekend against Grand Terrace, and tonight just kind of chipping away at it and then had that breakthrough run. And you know what? Again, give credit to that offensive line for the Huskies for helping to break things open.
just a sensational player. Paye is in his final year with the team. He waited until his senior season, but he has burst onto the scene now, and he picked a pretty good time to help give this offense a boost. The Huskies, fresh off of that sensational come-from-behind win, hope they can build on that, and they're right in the game against undefeated Orange Vista in the league opener. Lara sends away a square.
Oh, they got it.
Is picked up by
my
JW
goodness.
North. Osvaldo Solis scoops it up.
We saw them do this last weekend against Grand Terrace, and it seems like the Coyotes were not quite expecting that, and the Huskies come up with the rock.
Who wouldn't want to play for a team like this? JW North will go for it on 4th down. They'll try onside kicks. It's a flash to Sean Payton in the city of Riverside. What an incredibly aggressive coaching staff, and what a great team to play for, as they are 1-4, but you wouldn't know it.
Again, you got to love Coach Vaipulu. He will definitely go into the bag of tricks. He does not hesitate to do that in most any contest.
JW North with turnover on down, another big fumble from Shannon. They've made plenty of mistakes in this game, but they've got a chance for the lead.
Almost
another
there.
Juggled snap. Shannon's looking deep, but he'll take off and run. Gaines escorts him out. It's a pickup of about 5 on the quarterback scamper.
Boy, great speed exhibited by Cameron Shannon to get chased out of the pocket. All it looks like got pushed out of bounds a little bit sooner than we had expected. Only about 2 on the
Yeah,
pickup.
maybe 2.
Huskies are now 2nd and 7.
What an exciting situation for JW North. They have yet to lead in this game. Orange Vista needed less than 2 minutes on their first drive of the game to take the early lead, 7-0. But JW North has hung in. This is the sort of stuff we saw in the game last week against the Titans. Crowd on its feet. Furr releases on the 2nd down pass, deep towards his running back, and it's incomplete. Number 24, coverman Eric Otis, with a great job on the outside defensively.
It is now 3rd and 7. Ball on the 36.
Yeah, Furr came out of the backfield, was the intended receiver, unfortunately just beyond his reach on the toss from Cameron Shannon.
This is the Ivy League opener. Orange Vista and JW North. 2 other Ivy games are currently underway, with Elsinore, Temescal Canyon, Rancho Verde, and Heritage in action tonight as well. We'll have scores from all over the league and the city of Riverside on Riverside TV coming up at the half.
Tupou in the backfield now.
Their short yardage fullback. Another run for Tupou, and he crawls to about the 30. Matthew records his 4th stop of the game, and that brings up 4th and about 4.
You know they're going to go for it here. They don't have quite the kicking game to think about a field goal.
Huskies Sione Tupou.
And it is interesting to see the Coyotes not use a timeout, and for JW North, they've elected to hang on to their 2 other clock stoppages.
Using up a lot of time here, though. They better get themselves to the line of scrimmage. Actually, they may have to call a timeout.
Right, there we go with just over a minute left in the half.
Letting the clock wind down.
Right.
So I think that's a strategy here by Coach Vaipulu, using up as much off the time clock as possible. He sort of figures if they do give it up on downs, it will give less time for the Coyotes.
Timeout.
It also gives them a time to discuss what to do in this type of scenario with about a 4th and 5 scenario here for the Huskies.
Right. Opalani Vaipulu, head coach of JW North, took over for the great Dennis Brown following the 2019 campaign. And in his first year, the team set a school record with 11 wins. It was a sensational playoff berth for them. They lost in the quarterfinals to Oaks Christian, but that, they hope, is a sign of things to come, led by this young but emerging head coach, Opalani Vaipulu. A first-generation Tongan. His parents came over in the late 1970s to America. He's been all across, from Oregon to Texas, and settled in Southern California. Vaipulu with Dennis Brown on his watch, slowly became this head coach, and you could see his character and his personality on full display tonight. He's aggressive and very confident.
Here's a little bit of worthless trivia for you.
Okay.
But there are actually more Tongans in the United States than they are in the nation of Tonga.
Really?
Yes, there are more Tongans as a population that inhabit the U.S.
That is amazing.
Yeah, a
Is
little,
that
bit,
useful
a little
for-
bit of worthless information.
Right, for sure.
Although we're not saying that the Tongans are worthless. They're great people. I love Tongans.
Have you ever been there?
I have never been there. Not yet.
Shannon under the rush, throws a jump ball downfield. He's
baby.
got his man. Alala is pulled down at the 1 yard line.
Wow.
Morton saved the touchdown as Shannon throws a prayer, and it's answered.
Man, what a key toss here to Al-Allah to come up with a rock just shy of the touchdown.
Damian Alala's biggest catch of the season sets up 1st and goal. Clock is running as J.W. North brings in Paella just fresh off putting his helmet on.
Man, what a confidence booster this is being here for the Huskies. Clock is rolling with about 40 to play. Jumbo package is in.
Jumbo package for J.W. North.
Oh, bad
Shannon
exchange.
buffed the
Bad
snap.
exchange.
Let's see who recovers this ball.
Oh, can you believe that?
There's
Wow.
Matthew, Orange Vista football. J.W. North makes a big mistake on the goal line.
Boy, another missed snap really crushes the Huskies here.
An absolutely heartbreaking way to cough up that drive for J.W. North. Alala, had he not lost his footing, would have had the touchdown.
Missed opportunity for the Huskies.
And now Orange Vista, outside of a disaster here down the stretch, could go into the half up 13-7. Now the Huskies, of course, better be careful to avoid a big play against their secondary, but also the Coyotes would love to avoid a safety.
Yeah, this is very vulnerable here for the freshman quarterback. It looks like they may actually take a timeout.
Yeah, to talk this one over.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I think Coach Zomald is very wise to take a little time to have a discussion with his freshman quarterback to make sure that he knows exactly what they want to accomplish on this play.
Right. What an incredible, entertaining 2 minutes of football here from Paris, and it began with the Paella 60-yard touchdown run to put J.W. North back into the game. A spectacular run, and with the Huskies down 6, their defense delivered a critical stop to get the ball back. And J.W. North was driving again. Shannon, on a miraculous scramble, converts a 4th and short with a big, deep ball to Damian Alala. 1st and goal at the 1 as he stumbled down short of the end zone. And as you just saw on the previous play, Shannon muffs another snap. Now that might have been the center involved too. Who knows if Shannon touched the ball, but it was a center quarterback exchange which results in the turnover, and the Coyotes get the ball back. What a wild and zany 2 minutes here with Orange Vista desperate to go into the half up by 6. They'll line up with a tight end and a fullback of the 1 yard line. Here's Irving, who stays on his feet for a moment. And if he kept his feet, that could have been a big disaster for the Huskies. He's down to the 6.
Absolutely. There was a lot of green just ahead of him, but nonetheless, he comes up with at least 5 on the carry.
First tackle of the game for Tupou is a big one. And we'll go into the half with Orange Vista up 13-7. It's a nail-biter, JR, and for Orange Vista, the biggest play for them was that stop of the 1 yard line.
In spite of the mistakes by the Huskies, you got to give him credit for hanging with a very, very good team with Orange Vista. So I'm sure both squads head into the locker room to have some very significant discussions on how to come out in the second half and improve some things.
You never know if that missed PAT from the Coyotes will come back to haunt them, but at the moment, they're up by 6. We'll step aside with messages and news from Riverside, and when we return, we have scores, stats, highlights, and big storylines from this game and beyond in the city of Riverside. For JR and Nick Rice, we're at the half from Riverside TV.
California leads the nation in railroad trespass-related fatalities. In 2021, there were 243 trespass casualties in California. We can all help reduce trespass-related incidents even further if we never trespass on railroad property for any reason. That means no biking or walking near tracks. Railroad property is private property. The only safe place to cross train tracks is at a designated crossing. September is Rail Safety Month. Please do your part. And whenever you see tracks, always think train.
Live local. Help support your favorite businesses with the Shop Riverside Community Card. With over 200 Riverside businesses giving exclusive discounts and offers to community card holders, there's something for everyone. Participating organizations sell these cards for only $15 each, with $10 going straight back to the organization itself, making the Shop Riverside Community Card a fantastic way to support your favorite local group. For more information about the Shop Riverside Community Card and to find participating businesses, please visit shopriversidenow.com. And don't forget to live local. Shop Riverside.
Engine 1 AMR, respond with RPD for a traffic accident with injuries. In 1234 Main, cross of Columbia, 2 vehicles involved.
Each year, the Riverside City Fire Department responds to 40,000 emergency calls.
431.
And the men and women of the Riverside Police Department drive Code 3 every day.
We need your help so you know what to do when you see emergency vehicles.
Pull to the right.
Pull to the right.
Pull to the right. So help us help you.
We need you to pull to the right. We are proud of the Riverside Police Department's tradition of integrity, service, and excellence. RPD officers are disciplined, well-trained professionals who always lean forward to make our community safer and more livable. We are always looking for mature, educated men and women who want to apply their courage and judgment to serve the people of Riverside. If that's who you are, we want to talk to you.
California leads the nation in railroad trespass-related fatalities. In 2021, there were 243 trespass casualties in California. Trespassing is one of the most challenging safety issues plaguing California's railroad corridors. In Riverside County alone, there were 19 trespass-related casualties last year. But the positive news is those numbers have dropped over the years because of the efforts of California Operation Lifesaver and partnering agencies like RCTC and Metrolink. We can all help reduce trespass-related incidents even further if we never trespass on railroad property for any reason. That means no biking or walking near tracks. Railroad property is private property. The only safe place to cross train tracks is at a designated crossing. September is Rail Safety Month, so please do your part. And whenever you see tracks, always think train. And stay off, stay away, stay safe.
My name is Melissa Olmos, and I'm a driver operator in the Department of Refuse for the City of Riverside, and I've been doing this for 4 months already. I really enjoy it because this job is not like a routine, so every day is different. So I'm assigned to do the bookings. The residents call to the city to be serviced, and these items is large furniture, mattress, and appliance. The residents, they have 2 times a year, and these items, I put it in the back of the packer, and the packer crashes and compact these items so I can take it to the dump. My favorite part of the job is driving the truck. Since I was younger, my dream was to be a driver. And now that the City of Riverside gave me this opportunity, I really enjoy it. I'm really proud of what I do because when I go to the residents' houses, I see the faces, they're happy because we're picking up the items they don't want anymore. So I try to get in here because this is a better job for me with a better stability. And I want to too because I want to set a good example for my 2 daughters that I have. One of my hobbies that I have is go hiking. I like the outside activities like camping, and I also enjoy riding motorcycles. If I have to describe my job in one word, it will be it's perfect.
our very first building of a Little Free Pantry. We are building a Little Free Pantry in our community. It will be one of the 26 throughout Riverside that will help fill the gaps of food scarcity here in Riverside. Data is telling us now that 1 in 6 families are hungry. It's about 44% of adults and about 50% of children that are hungry here within our own neighborhood, in our own backyard.
Because of the pandemic, there's a lot of hunger out there. There's a lot of families in need, and we hope that this will act as a bridge until families are able to get the food that they need. I think that there are always those times where we are living paycheck to paycheck and we need just a few cans of something to get us by. So these little pantries will serve in that capacity, and we're really excited to see something that will help families in need.
And this has been a wonderful collaboration with the Riverside Mutual Aid Network, IEHP, here at Sandals Church, and the City of Riverside. So this has been a fantastic opportunity for community members to step up and to fill a real void in our city, which is food insecurity. So the idea is that if one of these free little pantries in your neighborhood, you could stock it as frequently or as infrequently as you want to. And the idea behind it is that when people have extra food, it doesn't go to waste.
These pantries are just kind of the first step, right, for reintroducing neighbors back to each other, getting folks involved in taking care of each other again, and just strengthening those community bonds that Riverside is so known for. Because things like food drives and food distributions, they're really good, but they only help folks in that moment of need. And we wanted to create something that would continue giving back 5, 10, 15 years from now, and really allow the community to get back into taking care of each other instead of maybe relying on, just government or nonprofit structures to kind of take care of them.
If others want to follow suit, they can apply at riversideca.gov/cares as an application, or they can email us at neighbor@riversideca.gov to receive an application to host a Little Free Pantry in their neighborhood.
California leads the nation in railroad trespass-related fatalities. In 2021, there were 243 trespass casualties in California. We can all help reduce trespass-related incidents even further if we never trespass on railroad property for any reason. That means no biking or walking near tracks. Railroad property is private property. The only safe place to cross train tracks is at a designated crossing. September is Rail Safety Month. Please do your part. And whenever you see tracks, always think train.
Live local. Help support your favorite businesses with the Shop Riverside Community Card. With over 200 Riverside businesses giving exclusive discounts and offers to community card holders, there's something for everyone. Participating organizations sell these cards for only $15 each, with $10 going straight back to the organization itself, making the Shop Riverside Community Card a fantastic way to support your favorite local group. For more information about the Shop Riverside Community Card and to find participating businesses, please visit shopriversidenow.com. And don't forget to live local. Shop Riverside.
Engine 1 AMR, respond with RPD for a traffic accident with injuries. In 1234 Main, cross of Columbia, 2 vehicles involved.
Each year, the Riverside City Fire Department responds to 40,000 emergency calls.
431. And the men and women of the Riverside Police Department drive Code 3 every day.
We need your help, so you know what to do when you see emergency vehicles.
Pull to the right.
Pull to the right.
Pull to the right. So help us help you.
We need you to pull to the right. We are proud of the Riverside Police Department's tradition of integrity, service, and excellence. RPD officers are disciplined, well-trained professionals who always lean forward to make our community safer and more livable. We are always looking for mature, educated men and women who want to apply their courage and judgment to serve the people of Riverside. If that's who you are, we want to talk to you.
California leads the nation in railroad trespass-related fatalities. In 2021, there were 243 trespass casualties in California. Trespassing is one of the most challenging safety issues plaguing California's railroad corridors. In Riverside County alone, there were 19 trespass-related casualties last year. But the positive news is those numbers have dropped over the years because of the efforts of California Operation Lifesaver and partnering agencies like RCTC and Metrolink. We can all help reduce trespass-related incidents even further if we never trespass on railroad property for any reason. That means no biking or walking near tracks. Railroad property is private property. The only safe place to cross train tracks is at a designated crossing. September is Rail Safety Month, so please do your part. And whenever you see tracks, always think train. And stay off, stay away, stay safe.
My name is Melissa Olmos, and I'm a driver operator in the Department of Refuse for the City of Riverside, and I've been doing this for 4 months already. I really enjoy it because this job is not like a routine, so every day is different. So I'm assigned to do the bookings. The residents call to the city to be serviced, and these items is large furniture, mattress, and appliance. The residents, they have 2 times a year, and these items, I put it in the back of the packer, and the packer crashes and compact these items so I can take it to the dump. My favorite part of the job is driving the truck. Since I was younger, my dream was to be a driver. And now that the City of Riverside gave me this opportunity, I really enjoy it. I'm really proud of what I do because when I go to the residents' houses, I see the faces, they're happy because we're picking up the items they don't want anymore. So I try to get in here because this is a better job for me with a better stability. And I wanted to because I want to set a good example for my 2 daughters that I have. One of my hobbies that I have is called hiking. I like the outside activities like camping, and I also enjoy riding motorcycles. If I have to describe my job in one word, it will be it's perfect.
Today is our very first building of a little free pantry. We are building a little free pantry in our community. It will be one of the 26 throughout Riverside that will help fill the gaps of food scarcity here in Riverside. Data is telling us now that 1 in 6 families are hungry. It's about 44% of adults and about 50% of children that are hungry here within our own neighborhood, in our own backyard.
Because of the pandemic, there's a lot of hunger out there. There's a lot of families in need, and we hope that this will act as a bridge until families are able to get the food that they need. I think that there are always those times where we are living paycheck to paycheck and we need just a few cans of something to get us by. So these little pantries will serve in that capacity, and we're really excited to see something that will help families in need.
And this has been a wonderful collaboration with the Riverside Mutual Aid Network, IEHP, here at Sandals Church, and the City of Riverside. So this has been a fantastic opportunity for community members to step up and to fill a real void in our city, which is food insecurity. So the idea is that if one of these free little pantries in your neighborhood, you could stock it as frequently or as infrequently as you want to. And the idea behind it is that when people have extra food, it doesn't go to waste.
These pantries are just kind of the first step, right, for reintroducing neighbors back to each other, getting folks involved in taking care of each other again, and just strengthening those community bonds that Riverside is so known for. Because things like food drives and food distributions, they're really good, but they only help folks in that moment of need. And we wanted to create something that would continue giving back 5, 10, 15 years from now, and really allow the community to get back into taking care of each other, instead of maybe relying on, just government or nonprofit structures to kind of take care of them.
If others want to follow suit, they can apply at riversideca.gov/cares as an application, or they can email us at neighbor@riversideca.gov to receive an application to host a little free pantry in their neighborhood.
Section. In our other Riverside TV game with Jeff and Gazal out there in Riverside, Patriot leads Arlington 21-6. Of course, here, as you see on the screen, Orange Vista's in front of JW North 13-7. In our other Riverside games, King on the road in Temecula is tied at 14 against Great Oak at the half. Rancho Verde is in front of the Titans of Temescal Canyon in a home game, 28-13. That's a game of note in this league. And the other Ivy matchup, in Heritage, Elsinore leads the Patriots 14-7. And to wrap up our scores from Temecula, Centennial High School leads Chaparral 28-7.
Not a terrible surprise there at all.
I'd say so. The Huskies are not undefeated, though. That is a surprise.
That's
true. They lost to Mater Dei a couple of weeks ago. We'll have stats and stories in just a moment, but first, JW North is kicking off to Orange Vista to begin the second half. For those of you just joining us, you came in at a good time. This game has been good for a while, but what will be very intriguing is to see this offense, which has not seen the field very much. They have been certainly outpossessed almost 2-1 in terms of minutes in the first half. They'll have an opportunity to shake off some rust from the halftime break.
You can see that Orange Vista is actually expecting a potential onside kick, because they know JW North is very capable of doing some trickery here.
Right, number 16, Chris Lara, with the line drive kick.
Nice
In
kick.
fact, might have been one of his best kicks of the year, through the end zone past Himes for a touchback.
Great way to do it. Boy, talk about really keeping Orange Vista on their toes, man. They were expecting something, but decided to kick through it and will operate from their 20.
Well, that shows the respect of JW North and their special teams group, led by special teams coordinator Michael Case. Let's quickly recap the important notables in the first half of this game. And when you look at the statistics, to me, what it boils down to is the turnover differential, of course. But JW North has to feel good. They outgained the Coyotes 151-114.
Yeah, statistically, they definitely made some significant contributions, and look defensively, they're still flexing the muscles here.
Yeah. Salvador wraps up Irving just across the line of scrimmage. So the Huskies employed the run, and against the team that runs the ball very well, the Huskies gave them a dose of their own medicine.
Got somebody down on the turf. Actually, looks like Wilson gets up there. Thankfully, I'm sure that's a sigh of relief.
Right, gets up and he's okay. A 2-yard pickup there from Irving. 119 yards for J.W. North. Those are the type of rushing numbers we usually see from the Coyotes. They've been held to just 62 yards on the ground. Make it 64 off of that carry from Irving. But a phenomenal game up front from the big fellows of J.W. North. Tyrell McDuffie out of the backfield, escorted by the Huskies' Angelo Ramirez. That is McDuffie's third grab of the game, and good enough for a first down.
12th passing attempt for Aziz, winding up with 52 yards total from a passing standpoint in the first half.
Yeah, 5 for 12, 52 yards, a touchdown, and no interceptions for the freshman. That's now 15 touchdown passes for Abdul Aziz, and that touchdown might have been his easiest throw of the year. A quick tunnel screen, good for 6 from Irving. Quick flip in the flat, and McDuffie makes another play. Knocked out near midfield, hammered by linebacker Aiden Beasley.
Move the chains, picks up an automatic first down there.
Orange Vista keeps moving those chains.
Abdul Aziz averaged over 10 yards a pass this year for Orange Vista. He had about 4 yards attempt in the first half, as they did a good job limiting the downfield throws. But this is the offense we're accustomed to from the Coyotes, led by their quarterback.
And again, a reminder, this is a 14-year-old freshman we're looking at.
Just incredible. Deep drop, and he's looking long. And he's got a man open inside the 10. That's the Coyotes with a big play. First grab of the night from Himes, and it sets up first and goal.
Wow, nice toss and great catch.
A 41-yard gain, longest play of the night. Abdulaziz Anthony Himes, the home run threat for this Coyotes offense. Lucas Irving crawls to about the 6-yard line, spilled by Ayala.
Irving with 18 yards on the ground in the first half.
18 on just 3 carries. With his sort of explosiveness, it was surprising to see him not a bigger part of the offense, but they lean on him now. And Orange Vista, right out of the half, has made a statement with a spectacular drive.
Yeah, this is the Orange Vista that a lot of people have been accustomed to seeing so far here in the 22 season.
Right. They'll bring in Eric Otis as the fullback, and a tight end 2 in Gaines. Irving juggles the ball but does reel it in, and Ayala knocks him down to the 2.
Boy, give Gaines credit, man. He kind of was flipping that around just a bit. Was able to maintain it, and not a bad game.
Continues to move the ball forward.
Irving will be spelled at running back in favor of Sire Gaines, who scored the game's first touchdown on a 5-yard goal line run. He is in on the goal line with third down from just inside the 3. Here's Gaines again, hit by Wilson. He keeps the legs moving, and he is in for an Orange Vista touchdown.
Second touchdown of the night for Gaines. So just like that, Orange Vista comes out throwing the football in most of this drive and putting points up on the scoreboard. This is exactly what they wanted to do to make some adjustments in the second half.
This was the very offense that we saw to begin the game. They used about 2 minutes to score on a Gaines goal line run with 8:12 in the first quarter, and they come right out in the third quarter with a similar drive. And Abdulaziz shined on that possession too, as he's gone over 100 yards.
Looks like they want to go for a 2-point conversion here
to take a clean 14-point lead. Deep back is Gaines. They'll fake it to him, bootleg, and there's Otis, who's in for 2. As the fullback reels it in, and the Coyotes are up by 14 with 8:41 left in the third.
Nicely done on the 2-point conversion.
21-7, 8 minutes, 41 seconds.
So now the Huskies are really going to have to make something happen. I still think they need to make things a little bit more up-tempo offensively.
Let's check out the big play on this drive. A 41-yard passing play, JR, from Abdulaziz to Anthony Hyman.
Wow, even in spite of the fact that you had a defender,
Alexander Juarez,
right there, and man.
And that's a big league throw right there, too, from Khalil.
It is, because it put it right into the hands of his receiver.
Coyotes lined up for the kickoff. This one is deep but returnable, and reeled in from the Huskies, Jaden Garcia.
Wow.
He has nowhere to go.
Stop.
Abijah Murphy makes the special team stop.
That was number 25, Jaden Garcia from JW North receiving the ball.
So the Huskies really have to buckle up and eliminate any mistakes in this second half, because they certainly have the capability offensively to move the football.
JW North outgained, outran, and outpossessed Orange Vista in the first half. 151 yards through 2 quarters for them, led by quarterback Cameron Shannon. He went 6 for 9 with 40 yards in that first half. We'll see if he has any more big plays in him on this third quarter drive. Glad you're with us. Nick Rice, J.R. Ibarra, the fan-voted flex game here from Riverside TV from Paris, California. 10th throw of the night for Shannon. Into coverage.
Nice
it's
grab.
A fine catch and an even better throw, too. Inbounds to Butler for a JW North first down.
First catch of the night, and a key one at that to move the chains and put the Huskies in some pretty decent field position here.
Let's check out that throw again.
Yeah. Nice toss and nice catch.
Number 4, Brian Butler.
Just the third grab of the year, first tonight for junior receiver Brian Butler, but a big one too. In fact, his longest grab of the entire season gives a spark to this passing offense of JW North. They leaned heavy on the run in that first half. Furra sweeps to his right, gets by the first wave of defenders, then is hammered by West. 5th stop of the game from veteran Deontay West after the gain of 8.
Furra had 14 yards, 6 carries in the first half.
Right, he was part of a team that leaned heavy on the run. 18 runs designed and only 10 passes in that first half. So it was clear the game plan going in. They were going to run the ball and test the inside of that defense. On 2nd and 2, they might be compelled to do the same here as they bring Furra into the game. Ball start on the offense.
Man.
Maliepo Paella. He is the brother of the star running back who scored the Huskies touchdown, Walingi Paella, in the second quarter of the game. Walingi. 5-yard penalty, 3rd flag of the game against the Huskies.
That was a little odd. It was almost like he just kind of stood up. That's just like.
And just said, I'm not hiding.
I'm not doing this play. Unfortunately, just another unfortunate mistake by the Huskies to push them back in the yardage here.
Right. Part of a stout offensive line for JW North that has only allowed 1 sack in the ball game. Ayala in space again, gets a good block too, and is hammered out of bounds.
He also lowered that shoulder against his defender, Nathan Wade. What quite a collision there.
Wow. Well, Ayala, who can play both ways as good as anybody, starting at safety for the team and even is a great special teamer, where he shines is his ability to catch and run with the football. 3 tackles tonight for Ayala, along with 4 grabs for 53 yards, and came inches away from that touchdown late in the second quarter. More on that in just a moment. Furra spins, drives, slips a tackle too. What running from Furra? First down, Huskies.
Nice lunge forward to get that second effort, and looks like it'll be another first down here for the Huskies.
Just a sensational play from Furra. And he keeps the drive moving. He had only 2 yards a run in the first half, JR. Big run for him in the third quarter, though.
Kept his body moving and spinning.
JW North with the first
Look at him lower that shoulder, and that extra effort made the difference there.
it almost makes you wonder with the successes of Paella when they're going to feature him in this offense. He was a home run threat in that first half. They'll fake it to Furrow. The rush is coming, but Shannon evades it, shovels the pass, and is really picked off. Wow. Moore got a hand on it for the Coyotes.
Ayala was the intended receiver. And credit Cameron Shannon, boy, he was getting some pretty significant pressure, was able to step up and in out of the pocket. Almost made a play.
Right, Moore with a great job. So for those of you just joining us, it's been an incredible game. Orange Vista jumped out to an early lead on their opening drive led by Gaines. He began the drive with a big run and ended with a touchdown carry of 5. JW North got back in the game after the Coyotes went up 13-0 with a spectacular run from Paella, but Orange Vista has taken a 2-score lead again with their opening drive in the second half. Drop from Ayala. But this team in JW North in the first half committed 2 brutal fumbles, one on a quarterback to running back exchange and the other on the goal line from a center to quarterback exchange.
Yeah, that has truly been the difference maker in this contest. Now a 3rd and long scenario here for the Huskies.
But this game has really come down to those 2 turnovers. The Huskies have to feel very encouraged about the way they came into Paris against a juggernaut who has rarely been tested this year, let alone come close to a loss. And JW North has played every bit as good as the Huskies, if not better, at least on the stat sheet.
Tupou in the backfield here.
He gets the call and heads to his right. Gaines and Magale combined for the tackle. It's a 3rd down stop for the Coyotes, which doesn't mean much. JW North has tried a 4th down all but twice tonight.
Yeah, you know, I think they would probably think about going for this one. I mean, they are in Coyote territory. I do not see them leaving the field, so yeah, they're getting the offensive signals here to kind of keep things moving here.
5th stop of the ball game for Sire Gaines, the highly touted linebacker for Orange Vista. And I'm sure Shannon and the offense are going to have eyes on Gaines on this 4th down. They will go for it. Tupou is in, joined by Shannon in the backfield. So far, the biggest play of the night. 4th down and about 6 yards to go. Coyotes threaten blitz, and they'll bring the heat. Here's Shannon looking left.
Looking long.
And there's Ayala.
Oh, baby.
He made the grab.
Did he get it?
Inbounds. The answer is yes.
Wow.
1st down for Ayala. Let's see where they mark this.
Man, he was right on that line.
In the NFL, that's incomplete. He only got 1 foot in, but that's all you need.
That's all you need.
Down to the 7-yard line, 1st and goal.
Amazing toss, amazing catch by Ayala.
And he had a big first half, but an even better second half. The problem, though, for Ayala, he's coming inches away from the end zone. This is his 2nd long grab, but he just couldn't find the pylon. Let's see if they can capitalize on the big pass from Shannon. An absolute beauty on the left sideline to convert a 4th down.
Definitely needing a score here.
Tupou on the draw. And he falls forward to around the 5. Nathan Wade makes the stop.
Boy, when you need that yardage to really get ground out, Tupou seems to be the guy they want to go to.
Crowd rooting for the defense on 2nd and goal from the 5. As mentioned on the last goal line situation for the Huskies, with just 26 seconds left in the 2nd quarter, Shannon muffed up a fumble on a bad quarterback to center exchange, and they'll try and capitalize on this drive with Sayone Tupou to the 3, to the 2, and down at that 2-yard line. Matthew was involved and a host of other Coyotes, but Tupou has been their best goal line back all year, and it's delivered tonight.
Huskies. 3rd and goal for those Huskies. Come on, Coyotes, let's make some noise.
I think you just want to keep doing the same thing here, Nick. You got Tupou remaining in the backfield.
But they've brought in Paella too, along with Wilson as the 2 fullbacks. But this is Tupou. He dives towards the goal line. No signal yet. It appears he's a little short.
Wow.
Yes, he is.
They're just grinding away at it. I would almost think you want to do somewhat of the same thing again.
High drama here from Paris. The Coyotes desperate for a stop, bringing the goal line package. Shannon is bumped by his own man, but is in for the touchdown. What just happened? That must have been Paella yet again.
Yeah, Paella. It almost looked like there was a bad exchange going on, but luckily here for the Huskies with Paella punching it in for the score. Interesting how on that drive we primarily saw a mix of Tupou along with Furrow, but when you go to punch it into the end zone, then you go to Paella.
Right. And that capped off a 5-minute, 50-second long drive where the Huskies went 75 yards and are an extra point away from a 7-point game.
Oh. Flag on the play. Offsides. Wow, another penalty. Coyotes have really had some issues tonight. That is their 6th flag of the night.
Right. Well, with the ball spot of the 1-yard line, it is compelling to go for it. The JW North will keep the kicking unit out there. Snap, set, and Lara has it up. A beautiful kick from Chris Lara, and it's good. 2:51 left in the third quarter, and JR, if you thought last week's game was dramatic, this one with the league lead on the line is an even bigger second half for the Huskies.
I'll tell you what, the Huskies, had their struggles early on in the preseason, but these last 2 weekends have really proven to be really quite a turnaround for this team. Let's take another look at this one, Nick.
This was the long ball from Shannon to Ayala on 4th down. The Huskies have been magic on 4th down, none bigger than on this big play from Shannon.
Look at the tightrope catch here by Ayala.
Let's see, he had
one. Actually had two.
No?
Yeah. He had two.
He did have two.
Yeah.
Quick game update out of our other Riverside TV ball game. No contest. The Patriot Warriors, which was one of those schools that many people were saying in the city of Riverside could be a league championship contender this year. They've come out of the oblivion and have put together a dominant game in Riverside. They lead Arlington 35-6.
Wow.
1:22 remains in the third quarter of that game. You can catch all the action of that Arlington Patriot game on Riverside TV, part of our doubleheader tonight. Return out to about the 29, and with 2:42 left in the third quarter. Make it 2:38. When are they going to stop that clock? Orange Vista has good field position here.
Yeah, clock rolled off a few seconds there when it should have been stopped. I think the Huskies were probably granted about 5 extra seconds there.
Nevertheless, Orange Vista ball, and we'll do it all over again. Both teams went the distance on their first drive. Gains from 3 yards, Paella from 1 yard. We've got a 7-point game, and Orange Vista, a team that has scored 38 points per game this year with a couple of shutouts. They're in a barn burner tonight with the Coyotes up by a touchdown.
I think there might be some discussion on the clock.
You saw there on the quick glimpse down on the sideline of head coach Greg Zomalt. He has been a decorated coach for years as a former offensive coordinator for Citrus Hill.
Yeah, I think the discussion is about the time clock.
To me, I thought it was 10 seconds of a runoff. So that's a lot of time.
It is, and you just don't want to give up those precious ticks on the clock.
Right.
So, yeah, it looks like we may get an adjustment on the time clock here because I saw at least 5, but I guess could be a little bit more than that.
Wait a minute. They're running the clock again. Are we crazy here?
Okay.
All right, we'll roll with it. 2:20 left in the third quarter. It's a slant into traffic, and Beasley was all over that pass, but it's complete for 4. Out to Tyrell McDuffie.
McDuffie so far getting a lot of touches tonight. 8 attempts just to McDuffie alone.
Yeah, McDuffie really was held in check in that first half. A man who was a home run threat this year with 20 catches for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, had 4 yards in that first half. Irving is spilled after a first down run for Orange Vista. It's a gain of 13.
By Lucas Irving for the Coyotes, moving those chains. First down, Coyotes.
Fresh off the 5th stop of the game from Veasley. Up-tempo offense, and it's working for Orange Vista. They found something here. Veasley drops Irving again on a gain of 5.
Yeah, the up-tempo is causing a little bit of confusion here for the Huskies.
Wilson checks into the game on 2nd and 5. The Coyotes this year are the best passing attack in the Ivy League, led by their freshman quarterback. And they'll go to the air again. Miscommunication on that throw intended for the Coyotes, Anthony Himes. Reeled in the long ball earlier.
Yeah, interesting bit of touching and going on there between Orange Vista with Anthony Himes.
Right, and I believe it was Pitts out there on the coverage. Jaden Pitts, a sophomore starting at cornerback, and he has been magical tonight out there. Pitts, if there's no news on your side of the field, that's good news. It's been an island out there. They'll try the linebacker Veasley, and McDuffie makes a catch on the boundary. He was right at the marker too. Will they give him the spot for the first down?
Might be a touch shy, depends on the spot.
First down. As some friendly fire between officials, who we saw right there on the screen. First down at midfield, and that's the thing that you coach all week. When you're running a route, you've got to make the catch at the first down, not near the first down.
First and 10 Coyotes on the 50.
An incredible football game. The Coyotes came out like gangbusters to begin the half. Wilson drags down Irving on the pickup of 6, but this team had some sort of inspired speech. It just seems this team comes out in the third quarter and they are rolling on offense.
Yeah, this is looking like the Orange Vista that everybody has seen so far early here in the 22 season.
Coyotes averaging 384 yards a game, nearly 4 full football fields of offense, and 38 points per game. Incredible offense. 2nd and 4. Aziz fires the slant in stride to Crane. Hit at the 20 and taken down by Boucher at the 15.
Wow, nice crossing pattern.
And a gain of 25. They're back in the red zone in the final moments of the third quarter, JR.
Love the quick step back there by Aziz, looking straight for his receiver, coming up with 25 yards on the toss.
First grab of the ball game for Crane, 11th of the year. And a timeout's called by the Huskies. That might not be a bad idea considering just how fast this offense is. Let's check out that big throw to Crane. He runs the slant and gets right by the defense.
Great execution by the Coyotes. Nice pickup after the catch as well.
Yes, this is the best passing game in the Ivy League, led by quarterback Khalil Abdulaziz. So this team, while they do have some big stars in the backfield, they are at their best when they're passing the ball like this.
Yeah, this is what they're most comfortable in doing from what we've seen so far in the 22 season.
As his quarterback's thrown 15 touchdowns this year, just a freshman. You know, we've seen a lot of great signal callers across the city of Riverside. We've covered almost 2 months of games on Riverside TV. I'd argue this might be the best quarterback we've seen this year.
Yeah, it's definitely been very impressive so far, especially here in the second half. He's got the tempo that he was searching for in the first and second quarter.
52 yards passing in the first half for Aziz, over 100 in 12 minutes here in the third quarter. They'll go to the ground. Here's Gaines with a hole. He slips a tackle, gets his jersey torn, but is still into the end zone. 15 yards, touchdown Coyotes.
That's what Gaines does best for his third TD of the night.
And that capped off a 2-minute and 45-second drive. Big throw to Crane, the key play to put him in the red zone, and then Gaines, the goal line back in the first half, gets it done outside. And the Coyotes are back up by 2 scores as the extra point is on the way and is good just in front of that left upright. 28-14 in the final moments of the third quarter.
You know, aside from his great capabilities of running and catching the ball, I know Coach Zoma commented to it as what a great leader he is on the team as well. He's very well noted for leading this team and making a difference, as we'll take another look on the touchdown run.
Let's see how many guys got a hand on him on this play. Not many because of how shifty he is, but yes.
Wow, look how powerful it is. Just keeps the legs churning there.
What an incredible athlete this guy is. In Sire Gaines, they call him the Big Fish. And as corny as this sounds, yes, he was just kind of slithering his way into the end zone.
Try to get a hand on his scales, but they just didn't quite come up with it.
Apparently offered by Washington, Colorado, Boise State, San Diego State, and many others. Joe go to the 10, and that could be a safe. He didn't grab it.
No, he didn't grab it.
No. Okay.
Well, being a fan of Boise State, I want to hoping he winds up on the Smurf turf one of these days.
You know, I hear they have great bowl game history, so, you know, he'd be right back in the spotlight where he belongs.
Absolutely.
Huskies will start with the ball on the 20-yard line.
What's amazing about this kid for Gaines is that we've seen him as a runner, maybe be the best, hardest to tackle runner on the field tonight. And that's not really where he's mainly getting recruited as. It's a linebacker where he's getting recruited as. 6 tackles and a sack in today's game for Gaines. First down, it's a run. Furra heads to his left and gets crushed but falls forward after the gain of 2.
Final play of the third.
Right. So while JW North finds themselves down, a touchdown on this drive could make this a brand new ball game again. We go into the fourth quarter with Orange Vista in front of JW North, 28-14.
At this point, Nick, it really almost becomes kind of a must score here for the Huskies. Yeah, they got 12 minutes they still have to contend with, but if they really want to keep themselves in this contest, coming up with a touchdown almost becomes imperative at this point.
Right. And we'll start the fourth quarter in just a moment, but as a reminder, in our other Riverside TV game, not quite the contest we've had here in Paris. Patriot at last watch was up 35-6 over the Lions of Arlington. Arlington debuted the brand new field. They had a multi-million-dollar turf installment to their facility at Arlington High School. And unfortunately for them, we've seen them a few times on Riverside TV. It hasn't cashed in the wins yet.
Not quite yet.
Huskies will start with the fourth quarter on the 22-yard line.
But it is rare for a Riverside school to not come out to the sort of start we expected. Last year in the city of Riverside, 6 Riverside schools won a playoff game. They didn't just make the postseason, but they advanced. Quite a few of them to the championship. One of them was Arlington, who started 0-7 and wound up advancing all the way to the title game. Ayala, the intended target. As we now see a 3rd down and 8 coming up for JW North.
I think we could potentially see a nice representation of Riverside schools in CIF this year.
Right. A reminder, Riverside TV at 2 p.m. Pacific. Join us for college football as the undefeated RCC Tigers battle College of the Canyons on Riverside TV. We'll have exclusive interviews from athletic directors, coaches, players, and also, of course, the game on Riverside TV. Shannon is stuffed by Wade. The ball comes out,
he should be down.
and he is down by contact. Gaines almost was in for his 4th touchdown.
Wow.
That is the Coyote sack.
Great pursuit defensively here by the Coyotes, and now definitely a punting situation for the Huskies.
First sack of the year for linebacker Nathan Wade. JW North needed a touchdown and said they went the wrong way. It's a 3-and-out for JW North. The Coyotes bring in the man who had the big 25-yard grab on that touchdown drive earlier. Nigel Crane, the 5'8 senior, stands deep to return.
Ayala needs a good punt here, or Zavala needs a good punt.
The wind is at Ayala's back. Now this is not the first time we've seen the Huskies laid onto the field. But Ayala grabs the snap cleanly, sends a line drive to Crane, who backs up to the 50. A good catch from Crane. He makes one man miss and gallops to the 46 and is walloped by Juarez.
Still on his feet. They finally have to blow the whistle dead.
Number 88.
Shifty Nigel Crane brings it back for 6. And with 10:43 left in the game, Orange Vista can deliver the knockout punch with another scoring drive.
Yeah, another score here would really kind of put this one almost in the refrigerator here.
Right. The old Chick Hearn reference. What's funny is it almost feels like we're in the refrigerator anyways.
Yeah.
A game that was pretty balmy at kickoff, and it's now a chilly, lower 70-degree
It's
night.
definitely a little cool breeze kicking up here.
Irving to the 50. And he slashes to the 41-yard line. Mason McGill on the tackle.
And off to number 9, Lucas Irving. 9-yard gain.
Lucas Irving has been a real bell cow for the Coyotes tonight. That last run of 9 yards for Irving puts his total to over 50 tonight, and he had that brilliant touchdown grab of 43. That was late in the first half of this game. Aziz is going deep. Great coverage outside to Crane. Pitts might have been flagged.
Yeah, that's definitely a good call.
He's had a great game tonight. Jaden Pitts, number 5 for the Huskies, but might have given the Coyotes a trip into the red zone off of that penalty.
Yeah, there's no question in that double coverage that there was interference by the Huskies. Although I see them coming back. So maybe it's going the other way here.
Well, it must have been one on each side. Let's see.
Okay, pass interference is being indicated on the defense.
And that's it. Okay, the players fooled us.
A little bit of confusion going on there. Let's take another look at this one here in the double coverage by the Huskies. Unfortunately, getting a hand on Nigel Crane, the intended receiver.
9:59 left in the ball game. Orange Vista up 28-14. Because the contact must have been on the way down, we don't have a spot foul. Instead, 15 yards is the infraction, and that might be a business decision for Pitts. If he makes the catch, that might be a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly.
JW North might have their last opportunity to stay in the game right here. 9:59 left. Coyotes ball up by 2 scores.
Timeout, or is it a penalty? Yeah.
False start.
Too much time. False start. Another penalty here for Orange Vista. 7th of the night.
Well, this offense, the whole first half, JW North put together the perfect game plan against them. And now this offense, fresh off a touchdown drive to begin the third, a touchdown to end the third, they could make it 3 in a row if they can capitalize on this short field. And this is the team that we saw coming into the game. score 38 a night. Tunnel screen, and there's the catch. Himes with his second of the game. Big play for the Coyotes.
Touchdown.
Taken down by Boucher at the 1 yard line. Gain of 31.
Man, that was quite the run after catch.
Well, you can see why he's such a big stat machine this year for them. Just under 20 yards a catch for Himes on the year. Over 40 yards a catch in today's game. That one was another big play.
Boy, Aziz with already 20 tosses total for the night, or 20 attempts, I should say.
And most of the big gains on the night has been in the second half. Deep back is Irving. Hit by Wilson and taken down. Fourth stop of the ball game from defensive tackle Christian Wilson. The Huskies' last-ditch effort down to the goal line with the Coyotes up by 2 scores. And the performance on the goal line has been the difference in the game. JW North couldn't score on their trip to the 1 late in the first half. Meanwhile, Orange Vista is a perfect 3 for 3 in red zone trips. All capped off by Gaines, but he is not in as the running back. This is Lucas Irving, number 9, back there with the Coyotes on second and goal. From the 2 yard line, here's Irving, and he is in for a touchdown, and that might just do it.
Yeah, I think that could ice it here for the Coyotes.
That is another Coyote touchdown by number 9, Lucas Irving.
And they have the business as usual look on the sideline. Not a lot of celebrating for the Coyotes.
Yeah, this team definitely has a lot of confidence. Oh, block.
And this kick, yes, blocked by JW North. 20 unanswered points for the visiting Huskies.
Coyotes lead by 20 with 8.5 left in the game.
So
it's 34-14.
Yeah, according to my unofficial calculations, it is 182 yards in the air here for Aziz.
Right. Did you see that replay? The guy who made the catch was almost offsides. He got back inside, and check out that convoy.
That run after touch really makes quite the difference there.
So Orange Vista is 8:39 away from a 6-0 start to the year. And the only teams stopping them from an unbeaten season is next week at Elsinore, Heritage, Temescal Canyon, and at Rancho Verde to close the year. And the Rancho Verde Mustangs are 0-5 this season. So this is a carpet ride this year. The Coyotes are in a fantastic spot to run the table as they knocked out maybe the next best team in this league in JW North, given they knock out them in the final few minutes of this game.
Oh, baby, some green.
A great return from Angelo Ramirez as they throw the lateral to set them up in Coyote territory.
Man, give JW North the credit. They still want to contend for something in this football game.
Right.
8:28, they're really going to have to kind of pick up the tempo quite significantly here.
Exactly. We've seen just about everything from JW North today. There was the lateral. We've seen fourth downs, both running and throwing the ball for this team. We've seen an onside kick. Just incredible play calling. And on special teams, I mean, this guy has the whole bag of tricks, led by coordinator Michael Case.
Very similar to what we saw last weekend against Grand Terrace. Onside kick there, a couple onside kicks.
Right,
a hook and ladder play. It was like, let's just try everything that we can.
And it's all working.
Yeah, it actually has in many cases, in most cases.
8:28 left in the game. The Huskies might be down to this drive if they want to stay in the game. Play action, and Shannon's looking deep. It's on single coverage to Boucher. Incomplete. A great job on the outside by Marshawn Adams, number 8.
Shows you what a great arm that Shannon has.
Incomplete pass.
On that play, just too good of an arm.
Yeah, just beyond. Actually, fairly past the reach.
It appears that Orange Vista, Rancho Verde, and Elsinore are going to be the 3 teams that advance to round 2 of the Ivy League, undefeated. Of course, the Huskies still do have a chance to change that. 20-point ball game. It should be noted they came back down by 13 to score 20 straight just last week. Shannon rolls right and throws this one away.
Number 11 on the Coyotes.
20 unanswered points in the last 10 minutes of the game last week, JR. Paola scored the touchdown with 14 seconds to go.
Yeah, we've seen him rise to the occasion, but the time clock is not necessarily running in their favor right now, especially with a 3rd and long situation.
Yeah. 3rd and 10, and you need to convert this.
Absolutely. I would imagine with the point deficit, they would probably go for it on 4th down as well, if for some reason there's not a conversion here.
Right, and it should be noted the Huskies have just 2 timeouts left. The Coyotes with 3. 3rd and 10 from midfield. 5-man rush. Shannon out of bounds.
Not even close.
And it comes down to this. If the Huskies can't convert, the game might just be over.
Huskies, incomplete pass. Huskies are now 4th and 10 at the 50.
Yeah, there's not even any kind of consideration for a punt here.
And the only change is they brought in Zavala into the game as one of the receivers. Boucher, Ayala, and Butler at wide for JW North. Coyotes stay in that nickel defense on 4th and 10. They have been phenomenal on 4th down tonight. 4 conversions for them on 4th down, and they need a 5th to stay in the game. From the 50, it's an all-out blitz. Shannon gets by it. He needs the 40, gets past Wade, 1st down and more, and is hit late.
Wow.
12 yards on the run, 15 more on the penalty. That's a big play from the Huskies.
Boy, it is. It's key, and then the addition of the 8th penalty of the night here for the Coyotes.
And that seems to be the biggest culprit of the Huskies staying in the game. 8 penalties for them and 2 for JW North.
Boy, just when they needed to reach into the bag of tricks, wasn't really a trick play.
Yeah. You know, the coverage was so good, Shannon just takes off and has all sorts of running room. They get halfway to the end zone on one play, a 4th down run from Shannon. The quarterback with a brilliant year running the ball, 9.3 yards a carry. He doesn't use that trick often, but when he does, he is so dangerous. Glad you're with us. Huskies have a glimmer of hope, fresh off a big comeback last week. Shannon shoots it into the end zone. Butler had it go right through the outside of his glove. It's incomplete.
It was potentially there. It was there for the grab, and unfortunately just beyond his grab.
Yeah, also he might have run out of sideline there, but Brian Butler with a rare targets. Just 3 catches this year for the junior, 1 tonight. 2nd and 10 of the 25.
Once again, just kind of shows you just what a pretty good arm that Cameron Shannon has.
The Huskies have brought in Mason McGill as one of the receivers on 2nd down from the 25-yard line. Coyotes are threatening blitz. Play action. Shannon is taken down. Wow. It's a loss of 14. Another big play out of the senior linebacker, Arturo Nieto, with his 4th sack of the year.
Man, that was a huge defensive stop here for the Coyotes. Going to make this a 3rd and a very long situation here for JW North.
And that was a disastrous decision from Shannon to not get the ball away.
Yeah, he saw that there was definitely a blitz coming his way.
3rd sack of the ball game for Orange Vista's defense, none for JW North. That pressure up front has been significant.
Huskies on the 37, 3rd and long.
Nieto's 3 tackle, 1 sack, and 1 fumble recovery night has been one of the team's best. Press coverage in the outside on 3rd down and 23. Shannon looking left all the way. Shoots this one out of bounds.
Wow, that was not even close to the intended Ayala.
Great coverage again by Marshawn Adams. Another fourth down. 6:48 left in the game, and outside of a complete collapse, Coyotes win the game right here.
Yeah, this is a crucial play here for the Huskies. But we've seen him do it in the past. It's not out of the question that they can pull a rabbit out of the hat here.
A loss would drop the Huskies to just 1-5 this year, and behind the 8 ball to begin the Ivy League. 4th and 23. Shannon's looking for a miracle. And it's caught by Boucher, but he is about 8 yards short of the marker. And that is a turnover on downs to all but secure an Orange Vista win.
Got to give him an A for effort on that, but unfortunately comes well short of that first down marker.
And Orange Vista takes over 34-14 lead, and they take care of business in the league opener.
Yeah, I think at this point, what the Coyotes just want to do is run out that time clock, so they'll probably keep it on the ground for the remainder of this.
This young program built this facility and built the program from scratch back in 2016. They were just a JV program that year with freshmen and sophomores. In 2017, when they won 3 football games, the team only had freshmen, sophomores, and juniors in their first ever varsity campaign. But just a year after that, they made it all the way to the CIF championship as Irving begins the drive with a good run to the outside, escorted by Ayala on a gain of 9. This program went from JV in 2016 to the CIF title in 2018. They've moved up divisions every year, and now, fresh off a D8 playoff trip, Orange Vista, the sky's the limit for them as they hope to go unbeaten this year. They're just 6 minutes away from 6-0.
Seen a few different interviews with some of the players on this squad, and they are very determined. And the mentality they have, though, is let's go 1-0 every week. It's like one game, and then finally come up with hopefully 16 victories to win a CIF title.
Well, they're almost halfway there. If, of course, they hang on to this one.
Going to be a 3rd and short scenario here for the Coyotes.
Quick game update out of the ball game at Heritage. The Elsinore Tigers lead Heritage 28-10. They are 5-1 if they hang on to that game late in the 4th quarter. 28-10 they lead it, and that sets the stage for a heavyweight battle, which could end up determining this whole league on Thursday night. Wilson drills Irving for a loss. That's a big 3rd down stop from Christian Wilson. He has 5 tackles, 1 for loss, and a pass breakup tonight. A big day from the big fella up front, Christian Wilson, number 99.
Good stop when the Huskies really needed something to happen defensively. Christian Wilson steps up and rises to the occasion.
Yeah. So Thursday night, as mentioned, Orange Vista could be playing for the league title. They are 6-0 going into that game on Thursday against 5-1 Elsinore. Big time matchup out of this league. And that's the thing that's so amazing about high school football. An entire season could come down to one game. Play action on 4th down. Aziz dumps it off and has the first in Nieto. Upended at around the 44-yard line. Move those chains on a pivotal 4th down.
So that'll definitely push Aziz well past the 200-yard mark in tossing tonight.
With 1 touchdown and no interceptions. Meanwhile, for JW North, their game next week is on a Thursday as well against the winless Rancho Verde Mustangs, but it appears Rancho Verde will win their opener of the league against Temescal Canyon. That is an opportunity to get back into the league picture for the Huskies next week. Rancho Verde in a home game. Irving hit in the backfield, gets by one defender, and then spun down just across the line of scrimmage. It's a gain of about 2.
13 carries on the night for Irving, so he's been the go-to man from a rushing standpoint here for the Coyotes.
Right, touchdown run and a touchdown throw, or grab rather, from Irving. JR, thoughts of Orange Vista and what you've seen out of maybe the best team in this league?
Yeah, they have kind of lived up to the billing. I mean, they had a little bit of sluggishness at certain portions of the game, but this is definitely a team that will contend for a league title.
Right. That is it for starting freshman quarterback Khalil Abdulaziz. A 6-yard gut run from Lucas Irving. They've brought in the reserve, Jordan Gonzalez.
Lucas Irving once more.
A sophomore signal caller for Orange Vista. 3:03 left in the ball game.
Not a bad idea. I think Coach Zomal loves to give his younger players experience, and this is a great opportunity when you have this kind of a lead.
Now, actually, they have a new signal caller in, number 12. Irving heads inside and has enough for a first down. We believe that's Gonzalez. No confirmation, though.
First down, Coyotes.
Well, JW North will fall to 1-5 this year, and their chances of winning the league, it takes a hit tonight in Paris. They can rebound a week from now, Thursday, October 6th against Rancho Verde. Their season schedule continues with Friday the 14th against Temescal Canyon on Riverside TV. Then 2 road games to wrap up the schedule at Elsinore and at Heritage.
Yeah, it's just a matter of just running out the clock at this point.
Irving, 40, 35-30. Zavala brings him down on a gain of 21. A fitting way to close the night. A big run from Irving, and he's well over 100 yards now. We've seen some stars tonight for Orange Vista. Sire Gaines, the highly recruited linebacker for Orange Vista, was pivotal in the win tonight, but maybe the player of the game belongs to Lucas Irving, and he is icing the win for Orange Vista. It's another 8-yard scamper inside for the super senior, Lucas Irving.
Yeah, that run right there will put him right at about the 120-yard in rushing for tonight. So, man, he's had a very effective night of running the football.
And certainly part of a brilliant year for him. Irving has gone over 500 yards on the year now. 34-14. Final moments of the game, and how sweet it is. Orange Vista is in the victory formation.
Yeah, looks like they're just going to take a knee here for the next few plays and just run out that time clock.
Well, Rancho Verde, it's the final, 49-20. They've knocked out Temescal Canyon. And meanwhile, from the Heritage game, the school in Menifee, Heritage, down 28-10 in the fourth quarter. Rancho Verde, Elsinore, and Orange Vista winners on league opening Friday in the city of Paris. Final victory kneel down of the game from Gonzalez, and that'll do it as Orange Vista in the league opener against a bitter rival in JW North comes away with a convincing win, 34-14.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate that a series of different mistakes at really unforeseen times for the Huskies put themselves in the hole, and that comes up with a loss here to start off league play. But this, North has the capability to make things happen. There's no question about it.
112 yards and 2 total touchdowns from player of the game, Lucas Irving. Before we wrap this one up, let's remind you that tomorrow at 2 p.m. right here on Riverside TV, we have college football coverage of Riverside City as they battle College of the Canyons in an effort to keep their undefeated streak alive. Join us at 2 p.m. with coverage shortly before then. Rizal, Jeff, and Nick will be in Riverside at Ramona. JR, final thoughts?
Yeah, as we were saying, I think JW North has the capability to kind of keep themselves in the possible contention for league play, for league title, but they took a pretty good sizable hit tonight. On the flip side, Orange Vista, man, this is a strong football team. Even though they're quite young in some of their key positions, this is a team that definitely is the key leader here in this league.
Coyotes knock out the Huskies and are now 6-0. And, of course, winners in the Ivy League on opening night. Special thanks to Kevin Ho, video production teacher for CTE Departments, for him and his students for helping the Riverside TV team tonight. They did an outstanding job.
Yes,
Jared.
they did.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Isaiah and Tristan, and Isaiah too, thank you so much for all of your help right here from somehow, some way, chilly Paris. This was pretty cold tonight.
It is a little on the cold side.
34-14 Orange Vista winners. For JR and myself, thank you so much for watching. This has been another presentation of CIF Southern Section Football on Riverside TV. Good night.
Good night, everybody.